one small piece of evidence that connects these people. They don't want to give it away. So it's a case of trying to give some information to help people calm down and not be so worried, but also keep that.
Before we speak to Vern, here's Alex Iszatt.
When 12 young footballers and their coach got stuck in a flooded cave system in Thailand, the world was gripped as to whether they would be rescued.
A tumour meant Keris had to have her lower leg amputated and she began receiving chemotherapy. Despite suffering through so much in such a short time, Keris chose to reach out and help others.
Alex Iszatt has the story.
In the battle against crime, the police have had to adapt. With more people moving into the city, it's important to find out potential criminals' identities quickly, and that's by fingerprinting. All residents behind this building have been returned to their houses. The fire brigade are still checking for hotspots inside the warehouse. Suffocated by a deliberate action, when Watson knew that Alfie was in the rear footwell and that he didn't have room to breathe. At first, Gemma Fountain didn't know just how serious what she was looking at was.
They were like play fighting, which boys do, and then I just saw a knife.
The honeypot gives respite to young carers and vulnerable children, without which would have nowhere else to go. The charity is the only one dedicated to what's called the hidden army of 800,000 young carers across the UK. What is Claudia's law? Well, until today there was no law in the UK which enabled people to deal with the affairs of anyone who's missing. The legislation is named after Chef Claudia Lawrence, who vanished without a trace a decade ago.
This group of youths were relentless in attacking Razvan on that fateful night.
Then, within days of murdering Razvan, the youths went back to their local skate park, where they burnt his blood-stained clothes.
In my opinion, they went to that skate park that day to show off to their community that they were now the top dogs.
When you see an armed police force running down the street, and there was quite a few people who also had batons and placards running into a building, all you need to do is record yourself downing a half-litre bottle of water. It is safe and fun. Even at a traffic stop like this, the Inktify software can be used. They can find out whether people are insured or whether they're wanted for arrest.
One can't imagine a church being subject to this kind of vandalism a generation or so ago.
It isn't just the desecration of a place of worship, but what the signs represent. Despite her inappropriate racial stereotypes, misogynistic characters, elitism, xenophobic attitudes and stories of bullying, the author's name still remains on the bestsellers list.